Hi, my name is Sky, and this is about my high school friend who died in jail, or died as a result of being thrown into jail. And I mean no disrespect or anything towards his family. This is just me thinking aloud and presenting a possible scenario concerning the circumstances of how he died. Let me tell you a little story. When I joined the Army, and go into basic training, you actually don't go to basic training first. You actually go to a place called reception, or what's it called? I mean, there's different names for it, but basically, it's where they collect all the people who come in, saying, okay, we're gonna we're ready to to serve our country, and they just kind of put them in a holding place until they sort them out, and then eventually send them off to their basic training camp. I met a guy who was actually part of the little platoon unit that I was in, and he related to me that he was having issues, difficulty with some of the things going on. And in particular, it was when we would stand in formation. Now, when we would go, we had very little to do other than some of these processing things, and part of that was going to the doctor, getting some eyeglasses made, hearing checked, and getting inoculation shots, odds and ends, things here and there, getting clothing too. It's like just little odds and ends here and there, but a lot of just kind of sitting around. And it was amazing how just a week that goes by, and people were talking about you may or may not get into your basic training class, which this is back in 2000, February 2001. But anyways, so this guy was talking to me, and when we would go to chow, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, we would, it cracks me up when I see these vehicles being hauled around. It's amazing how many military vehicles are just broken, and it's just part of the way it is. But anyways, so this guy says to me, I'm having difficulty. These long chow lines, the line would be like 100, maybe 200 guys long, and about 4 or 5, maybe 6 guys across. So a massive formation of just men standing there at parade rest, waiting to go into the chow hall. And as you sat there, or as you stood there and waited, the line to the furthest right would go, usually, or whichever other line would go. And to this guy, he started suffering panic attacks. He was having a lot of difficulty just enduring that. He's standing there, being surrounded by people. I talked to him about it, and he said that he'd been part of this it's years ago, so I'm having trouble remembering now, but I want to say he was part of this youth group or civilian corps. I think something that involved doing working out in the countryside, help making fire roads or something like that. I forget exactly, but he said that he would suffer a little anxiety when he was in the groups of people out there. So being surrounded by people, it just was overwhelming for him, and I'm not too sure how to explain it, but for myself, even if I walk into a mall, and especially the food area, and there's just a massive crowd of people there, I start going. My brain will get kind of overwhelmed for some reason, and I don't know what it is. It's either the sound or the pressing of humanity or all the psychic energy. I really don't know, but it's definitely because of the presence of all the people there. It's overwhelming to me, and that's just me walking through a mall, and I know where I'm going. I'm calm. I'm collected, and there's nothing troubling me. So now going to basic training, where you are in a controlled environment. You're restricted, your clothing and your hair is dictated to you, and a guy's ordering you around. So that can, upset you. And what I did with this guy is I said, well, let's go talk to the drill sergeant. We talked to the drill sergeant, and I guess we lucked out that the drill sergeant we talked to, or we got unlucky because the drill sergeant we talked to just had no idea of the situation, the condition, or what to do. I had more sense than the drill sergeant, and I said, okay, next time you feel that way, let me know, we'll go stand outside the formation. You know, if you need to sit down and you know, take some breaths and relax, you can do that. And he did that once or twice. And I think the other times I said, all right, well, how about this? We'll just stand on either the outside or towards the end of the line, which meant that we were like the last to get food, but at the same time, he was more comfortable that way. So for my friend who gets thrown into jail, here's the scenario. You know, he is the only you know, a lead that the police have in the death of a man. So they think he's a flight risk, or I mean, that's what I'm assuming is the situation. And so they said, okay, well, he should be thrown into jail in the time being, and the public defender was working on getting him out. I think that, you know, because in high school, this friend of mine was a little standoffish, kind of kept to himself. You know, that could have been part of it. You know, he just had anxiety about dealing with people. So now, throw him into an overcrowded prison, which, you know, there's plenty of programs out right now showing you just, you know, how crowded prisons are. And you are a person that just can't exactly relate to other people. I mean, this guy, he was always real quiet, kind of kept to himself. So now you're forced into this press of humanity. It can be very overwhelming to you. And I could really easily see him suffering a panic attack, and as a result, because he has asthma, that's going to aggravate the asthma. It's going to trigger the asthma. The scenario is what happened with him is Wednesday night he goes to the hospital for asthma. Thursday morning he's released because they think he's fine. Thursday evening he goes back into the hospital for an asthma attack, and Friday morning dies in the hospital. And what I'm assuming is being in the prison triggered the asthma attack. Going to the hospital overnight calmed him down, but going back to the prison just, you know, caused the asthma to come back. And possibly that night, because he realized he had to be going back to that situation, he wasn't able to relax, and that could be why, you know, he maybe asphyxiated or something. Like I said, I don't know. I don't want to cast, you know, I don't want to say anything out of turn or to attribute anything to him that may not be true. So these are just all my observations and feelings. It's just very upsetting that he died, and he is a possibly innocent man. And if anything, there's evidence indicating that he could be innocent. So I don't know. I feel for his family. I'm really just upset by this whole thing. So, and I apologize for kind of going all over the place on my discussion there, but that's just, you know, one first-hand account of an experience similar to that. So maybe that could shed some light on the situation.